Hey troops, it's Roy from Geeks Adventures. Woohoo! Broadcasting from the Clintonville section, the soggy Clintonville section of Columbus, Ohio. So, the countdown begins. Not just to the rise of Skywalker, which I talked about in my previous broadcast, but the other thing. Endgame! Yay! Thank God! Not as bad as Empire Strikes Back, where we, back in the day had to wait 3 years and going, what happens to Han? Is Luke really Vader's dad? 1 year! And actually at this point, heck, even less than a month. So I'm doing my favorite moments from the MCU. And I do mean moments. We're not just talking about specific scenes, but also some plot points and stuff like that, where it was just like, wow. Am I ranking these? No. No, not ranking, because then it becomes really hard, and I'm tired because if you notice, this is being done at the crack of dawn, or in this case, a cloudy morning. Just in general, and actually the way I'm doing it is I'm doing it by the movie series. It's easier for me. So anyway, here we go. So what are we gonna start with? Well, you start with the one that started it all, really. Iron Man, yeah, baby. Let's be frank. When this first started, and I actually, if memory serves, and of course, the back of the DVD case. If memory serves, you talk to Favreau and everybody, they're like, well, either this is going to be the most amazing, badass success story on the planet, or everyone's going to laugh at us and think we're idiots for trying to do this. We don't know how that worked out. So my favorite moment, well, one of them at least, anyway, is actually Ying Tseng's death scene. Because it really sets the tone for everything. We meet. Tony's a schmuck. All right, let's be frank. Sort of, kind of a well-intentioned schmuck. Yada yada yada. But, and in that moment, in that cave in Afghanistan, everything comes crashing down on him, and the realization that, let's play back to that classic line from Uncle Ben, power, responsibility. And when he sees Ying Tseng die in front of him, literally going, do something more with what you got. That's some heavy crap to lay down on you after everything else that's going on, and the realization that, yeah, this kind of is indirectly sort of my responsibility too. And sets the tone for everything through the entire series. Yes, there's another scene I'm not mentioning, but patience. What else we got out there? In Iron Man 2, I know we all got strong opinions about Iron Man 2. All right. The moment that I love the most is Natasha and her epic fight scene. Where Happy's feeling all cool and badass as he beats up the one bodyguard and she obliterates 87 of them. I mean, seriously, that was so cool because you set the tone for her character. The fact that, oh yeah, she's a spy, she's an assassin, dang, she's a badass from hell. Oh my god. And on top of that, the really cool gear that she has. It was just epic and amazing. It's so freaking cool. From Iron Man 3, I've always kind of, because people seem to not like Iron Man 3. I liked it a lot. Reminded me, it had a lot of parallels actually with Dark Knight Rises, where it's as much about Tony Stark and him trying to understand who he is and where everything's going, all that kind of stuff, as much as it is about Iron Man. Me personally, for that entire movie, the funnest part, I know people have had strong opinions on this, but I love the Mandarin reveal because it's a fun twist. It's out of nowhere, and the thing is also, it fits the story and the times, and you create this shadow mega villain, and it turns out that it's all a red herring. And it was a really, really, really very cool idea to do that, to kind of keep people guessing. What else we got? The Incredible Hulk. I'm sorry, I don't have my case. I thought I had a copy of it. And I know we all have stuff about the Hulk. But me, what I loved was the Bill Bixby shout out. Because I think, a lot of there are a lot of fond memories, not just fond memories, but the way that the show really kind of was a unique take on how to handle the character was really, really cool. And it was nice to see that little scene from The Courtship of Eddie's father, just to go, hey Bill, we miss you, man. That was very, very cool. And evident of how the MCU kind of handles things, especially with the passing of Stan Lee, but that's something later. Anyway, what else we got out there? Oops, I forgot to bring up the case. I'm sorry. Not doing this movie exactly yet, but this specific Avengers later. But for Age of Ultron, I loved the who is worthy moment. The entire scene. You never get to see you. Well, not never. You rarely get to see this kind of behind the scenes moment for them when they're not walking around beating up bad guys or talking about the end of the world. They just chilling and doing stuff. And it's a lot of fun to watch. It is hysterical. And that classic moment when when Cap goes up and and Thor's got the look of wait, what? And also another classic, the classic moment. Actually, it's kind of very it's a very Joss Whedon moment. You have this lighthearted, goofy, silly moment, and at the very end of that is when Ultron shows up. And doesn't just show up as, this giant, cool, hulking robot that, no, he looks like something out of a incredibly frightening, disturbing, and totally effed up Japanese horror film. And makes his declaration and scares the living crap out of everybody. It's an amazing, it's that wonderful juxtaposition. It is a horror movie moment. You get set up, and then all of a sudden, bam, and you're just stuck there going, what the bloody hell? It was just awesome. Next we got, oops, wrong case. Oops, we got Cap. Yay! Pardon me, I dropped my piece of paper, my important piece of paper. Cap, the first Avenger, so much cool stuff from the Cap movies. And the funny thing is, I was never really a big Cap fan until this whole series started. For me, it was like, he's the guy with the shield and the super serum and whatnot. But, as the films move forward, realization that he's not just a dude with a shield and all that whatnot. That he was kind of he was the center in many ways for the Avengers. Trying to be kind of not. I don't think he'd want to call himself the moral center, because he would never put himself into that kind of position. But more of the kind of moral tap tap tap. We sure about this? That kind of thing. So for me, those great moments in Cap in the first Avenger, the grenade scene. It was a wonderful reminder of what the whole point of the Super Soldier program was. The fact that, everyone's running around screaming and like, and he's the one that jumps on the grenade because that's what you're supposed to do. Self-sacrifice, thinking of things bigger than yourself. That's pretty cool and badass for a guy that, weighs less than my thigh. And so many fun lines. Tommy Lee Jones going, he's still too skinny. That was great. That was just awesome. What else we got out there? Oh, and of course, let's see here. In The Winter Soldier, so many fun things in there also. The elevator scene, of course, which is the one that Chris Evans mentioned in that interview. For me, though, the other wonderful moment, the interrogation scene on the rooftop. because that's a classic moment, you know? You know, the guy's like, well, there's so many things coming in that moment. A reminder that, you know, even you know, Rogers will admit, no, I'm not going to throw you off the roof. She is, and Natasha does. And if it didn't work, she would let him draw. And then after, not just that moment, which is hysterical, but the shout outs afterwards, a reminder of how vast the MC will be. The direct mention of Doctor Strange, the implication that Moon Knight is out there somewhere. You know, the umpteenth reminder of what might be to come, and that, like I said, the vastness of the universe. It's not just about, you know, these 5 movies and stuff. That a lot more out there, which we may or may not get to, depending on how much money we can make. Which I think after Endgame, will be more money and more money and more money. And of course, there is also the last in the trilogy for Cap, Civil War. For me, it's the Peggy Carter scene. You know, it's a reminder for Cap, his unique, heartbreaking situation. You know, he's jokingly referred to as the man out of time and all this kind of whatnot. And not much of a joke. I mean, yes, he fits in now, and he's found a place with the Avengers, but yeah, that guy who just got kind of tossed in the deep end of the pool, and it's like, wow, I got drafted again. Well, no, he volunteered the first time. Wow, drafted. Oh man. And you know what's in, you know, to add on to the emotional power of this moment when, you know, Peggy, that moment when she's lucid and talking to Cap about, you know, all the things he has to struggle with and everything, and then the dementia kicks in, and you know, she suddenly forgets everything and just starts talking to Cap again, and bless his heart. And in the statement of Chris Evans as an actor, you know, he suddenly everything has to change, and he just like, hi Peggy. I mean, dang, man. I've mentioned this a lot of times on my Facebook post that, you know, well, you know, and we all have there are 5 billion theories of what's going to happen to Cap at the end of Endgame. Most of them with him being, you know, well, the thing I've mentioned is the hope that, you know, at the end of Captain America, the first Avenger, you know, talking about, hey, you know, you still owe me a dance, and I still have visions of someone somewhere bring Peggy back for a last dance. Yes, I'm a sentimental person. Yeah, so there. Yeah. Anyway, here. No, next one. Thor. For me, the most priceless moments, anything with Darcy. I mean, it's Kat Dennings. She's awesome. She's hysterical. And the nice thing, though, too, is that, you know, she has those little moments, but she contains it within herself and is enough of a pro to make sure that everything doesn't just go haywire. But let's be frank, especially in the first one, she's funny as heck. You know, the whole taser thing, the whole moment in the diner where she's going, I'm going to put this on Facebook, and everything. Hysterical. I miss her. She was funny as heck. The second thing and actually this is a bit of a cheat actually, it's the extra from, I don't remember which one of the Thor films it was, but something happened on the way to Thor's hammer. Why? Because it's Phil Coulson, that wonderful extra. It's hysterical. And we as the films progress, you get the impression that you don't mess with Phil, man. Self-promotion. I did fanfic of Phil Coulson at his funeral. Friends of mine that publish this for say they hate me because I made them cry. If you'd like a link to it, please let me know. I'll send it to you. I wasn't kidding. It's shameless self-promotion, okay? But anyway, to get back to the point. It's hysterical. I mean, you know, Phil, you can see this happening. You know, he just goes in the convenience store looking for donuts. You know, what do I want? And of course, that moment of, really? This happens now? And you discover how much of a badass he is. Oh, so fun. That was so fun. What else in Thor? In Thor Ragnarok, the entire play scene for Loki. That's funny as heck. All right, and sets the tone for the film in general. I mean, how irreverent it could be, how just off the charts in the directions it was going in unexpected ways. Um, just hysterical, and also going, wait a minute, is that is that Sam Neill? Dang, that was funny as heck. That was hysterical. What else you got out there? Good grief, I need to get more copies. Guardians of the Galaxy. I need to do an inventory. I'm so sorry. Guardians of the Galaxy. Loved in the first one the Infinity Stone scene. Why? If you're a comic book geek, when you heard about the Infinity Stones, it's like explaining Cable's origin to someone based on the comics. You literally, your brain opens up in 87 hours of material. It's like you're trying to break down a thesis that's about 4,000 pages long. That does not include the PowerPoint presentation. That does not include the 3D thing that Jarvis was going to work on. All this kind of stuff. They took all that crap and condensed it into like less than 2 minutes. Did it succinctly? Did it efficiently? Did it very well. And introduced the Celestials. That's pretty dang awesome. Brilliant. In the second Guardians of the Galaxy, for me, it's fun. Bless Dave Bautista's heart, because the umpteenth hulking badass wrestling dude who wants to get into acting because easier than dealing with Vince. Hey, The Rock did it, right? And the fun thing is, after seeing him in this and seeing him in Hotel Artemis and seeing the previews for the next, oh shoot, what's the name of that spy movie that is coming up? The trailers have just popped up here and there, where he's teamed up with this little girl and stuff. Looks hysterical. He is the umpteenth big burly badass spy action dude. He's got a warm, squishy, warm, fuzzy heart. And Drax is a perfect example of that. And how hysterical his comic timing could be, because the I'm invisible scene in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is priceless. And if I don't move, you can't see me. To which, of course, Gamora and Peter are going, no, Drax, no, Drax, no, it's not where it. Never mind, Drax, you're invisible. Never mind. It's all right. Let's see. What else we got out there? Ah, yes! I have the actual case for this one. Doctor Strange! Where Benedict Cumberbatch gets to go. Like my agent said, when the iron's hot, grab whatever you can get. I love the cloak. Those moments with the cloak of levitation. Well, especially in the comic book, the cloak's a thing. It's a powerful thing. Obviously, it makes him fly and all this kind of stuff. But the fact that in the movie, it's a very powerful and a sentient thing is hysterical. Helps him fight, and even dabs his eyes when he's crying. That was priceless. That was just so hysterical. Oh my lord, that was awesome. What else we got out there? Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yay! Honestly, anything with this trio, our trio of buddies. Okay, look. They're awesome, no question. And the way the film handles these superpowers. When I first heard they were doing an Ant-Man movie, I'm like, how stupid is that going to be? And no, it was brilliant. And made their ability to shrink and grow and all this kind of stuff really epic. But the three wombats are awesome. The three of them are priceless. And yes, I'm the umpteenth person that wants to see Michael Pena literally do a summation of the entire 10 years of the MCU in character. You know how awesome that would be? And you could probably do it in half an hour, 20 minutes, give or take. What else we got out there? Let's see. Spider-Man. I'm sorry, I don't have a Spider-Man case. I'm sorry. For me, it's the origin or the lack of the origin. Um, it's a very poignant moment when when Peter and Tony are talking, and Tony's trying to get an idea where this all comes from, and rather than going into the long Uncle Ben blah blah blah, he doesn't. Um, Peter talks about tragedy, loss, and how it kind of makes you have to make a choice, and that moment is wonderful because it really, rather than, like I said, going into the long-winded explanation that we've seen way too many times, that's kind of boring. You really feel the impact and the fact that Tony understands where he's coming from. That's pretty dang cool. That is very, very dang cool. Next up, we have Black Panther. This movie was so magnificent. And a reminder of, as much as we talk about, hey, who has more money and power, Bruce Wayne, Doctor Doom, Lex Luthor? No. T'Challa and the Kingdom of Wakanda are by far the most advanced, richest, most powerful people in comics, period. Well, at least on planet Earth. Okay. Movie was beautiful. So much stuff in there. But for me, the two things that I took away from it most: the first moment when you see Okoye flying the ship into Wakanda, that was so cool. You get to see its majesty, its beauty. You see nature, tech, all of it coming together, and it's just like, so deserve your Oscar. So frippin' awesome for designing this world. Incredible. And the other one for me was the casino scene. Because it's very reminiscent of the scene in Skyfall, where they're in the casino in Hong Kong. And the fun thing about Black Panther is how there's so many things it's drawing from. You got a little bit of Batman going on. You got James Bond going on. You got the superhero stuff all going on. And it condenses so well into this action-packed, amazing moment. That is just so fun. Oh, it was just so fun. What else we got out there? Captain Marvel, which unfortunately not officially out yet. The two things for me. Number one, the first thing. Remember when I talked about the poignant moments and stuff? Bill Bixby, the scene, not the two dedications to Stanley. The first obvious one, when how when the Marvel films start, usually it's with the characters, flipping the scene, flip the images, and have it all be Stanley was pretty epic. And the second one, the scene in the train, with him, reading the scenes from Mallrats, and you see Cap give him that little smile. That was so sweet and awesome. And I'm trying not to tear up because it's going to be really cool. And the fact that Endgame's going to be the last thing he does. That we all knew it was going to happen. But still, crap. I've heard lots of folks, mention you don't want to see it end. And one thing that I've suggested, which I'm hoping they're going to take to heart, the folk that Feige and everybody, who's doing the films takes to heart. People have mentioned about having, just have a portrait of him and just have it somewhere, not too, not giant, but have it in there in every film forever. And it's like, that would be pretty dang cool. I know that's opening up a can of worms with the Kirby family, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, but you get the idea. And I think that'd be pretty dang cool. The second really fun thing in Captain Marvel for me is actually a plot point. The Kree-Skrull War. I believe I mentioned this actually when I first talked about the Captain Marvel teaser back, way back. This doesn't sound as cut and dry as is in the comics, and you can get away with it in the comics. It's a comic book, doing the good guy human-looking Kree and the evil alien-looking Skrull. You pulled it off in the movie. It gets a little creepy. And the fact that they took that and spun it on its head was a very good idea. Um, and yes, this is superhero movies and whatnot, but the reality, especially in this current climate, the way we handle things, you can't do this black and white, purely binary dichotomy of how the sides are in a war. It doesn't work that way. Okay, for certain things you can get away with it, yada yada yada. But for something like this, no, no, no. The fact that, and also the fact that down the road when everyone's aboard the ship and you're trying to rescue the Skrull refugees, and Captain Marvel's like, yeah, I'm sorry, Carol is like, things I've done, and Talos goes, we're soldiers, we all have blood on our hands. It was a very telling, poignant moment in the film, which was very, very cool. Let's see. More fun stuff. Oh, for in Infinity War. Oh shoot, I should have brought my case with me. Oh well. The favorite moment for me, it's Cap's introduction at the train station. I mean, you want to talk about epic, drawing from Kurosawa, drawing from John Ford. That was just awesome. You see Scarlet Witch and the Vision. They're about to get their ass kicked by by Thanos' cronies. And the train goes by, and all you see in the at first is just Cap's shadow. It's just so freaking cool. And you see this brilliant, coordinated butt whooping that, along with Scarlet Witch and Falcon, that they do. That was just epic and awesome. What else we got? Okay. 2 more things, technically, actually. But so many things from this movie, all right? The Avengers. The entire movie is an epic, wonderful moment. Because let's be, it's like at the end of Iron Man, you never thought this would happen. There is no way you could have that many resources, that you could have that much money, that you could pull this off. And they did. Perfectly? Yeah, but really, 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 really well done. Oh, heck yeah. So many wonderful moments in this scene. The helicarrier. I never thought I would see the helicarrier ever come to life on the big screen. and the entire build up to that, Banner going, oh really, you're gonna put me in a giant metal tube underwater? Good idea. And a few moments later, Cap's got the $10 to Fury. It just never stops. The helicarrier scene, the hysterical puny god scene. In a movie like this, you create the uber villain. You're expecting this giant apocalyptic, everyone's trying to take him out. No, just Hulk goes, yeah, I'm done with this. Bam, bam, bam. I still giggle like a little child during that scene. It's so funny. On the flip side, though, like I was saying, part of the power of these films is juxtaposing these hysterical scenes with these scenes with such emotional power. I mean, when Coulson, unfortunately, since Coulson's come back and since they followed comic book tropes and everyone comes back, well, there's a sign of what could or may not happen to Cap, as much as blah 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 blah. Coulson's death. I mean, I still remember all of us, being in the theater when he gets. We all, the theater did that. And for me, the another wonderful scene in the huge statement on how Mark Ruffalo really understood the character, and the umpteenth reminder that, guys, this isn't just about the Hulk. You need to let Ruffalo have the spotlight on this character because he really understands it, understands the big guy. Is the scene at the fight in New York City where when Culp goes, okay, we need you to get angry, and you see Banner go, you want to know what my secret is? I'm always angry. And it's a very poignant moment. You understand the struggle. You understand what he goes through every day. And it's not done in a whiny, no, it is the voice. It's that kind of warrior monk tone of someone who understands who he is, where he is, and what he can do to try and maybe not control things, especially coming from a monk. No, there isn't control, but more, or forcing things, but more of what can I do in the moment now? And that was really, really, really cool. And you're wondering, so what is the number one thing? Well, I mentioned, coming back to this, the number one, the biggest moment in all this, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, is the end of this movie. After all the credits, after everything, when the whole movie world went, why should we wait until the end? And then all of a sudden you hear Samuel L. Jackson's voice, and comic book geeks everywhere went, oh my God! And casual movie fans went, oh dear God, why are you people screaming? Please stop. It's the Big Bang. Actually, yeah, you could say it's a Big Bang, let there be light. So, have you... let me tell you about the Avengers Initiative. There you go. Yeah. Wow, that was a lot of babbling. A lot of movies, and this isn't even all of them. So anyway, counting down, folks. Tomorrow's tax day. Wow, that's less than 2 weeks. Somewhere there are probably 8 million special forces mercenaries people around a hard drive, guarding it, and probably every 5 minutes going to some representative from Disney going, can we look at just one? No. But how about just no? Keep watching and guarding. I don't even get to look at it. I work here. I'm editing. Don't get me to watch anything. They just tell me when to hit this button. Soon. Anyway, hey, y'all take care. May the force be with you. May the odds be in your favor. And especially for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Woo! Go Blue Jackets! Hey, y'all take care, all right, folks? Peace and love. Bye!